Hello and welcome back to Always Right, the podcast with me, your host, Charlie Wright. Today I'm here with Erin.
Hello, everyone.
How are
How are
you?
you? I'm all right.
I
I'm all
feel
right.
like
Same old.
we always interrupt each other on this podcast, and I'm trying to not interrupt as much.
I know. I always have to be like to myself, stop talking, or
I know.
I just I'm like otherwise we just talk over each other.
I know. I know. But I think we do that in person too, I think. So at least it's, the same.
It's consistent.
It's consistent. That's what
Yeah.
matters. But Erin, it was your birthday recently. How old are you now?
I am 24. Yeah.
That's right. I always think that you're a year older, even though I know that you're not.
Oh yeah, because I went to school earlier.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I was like the youngest in my year level, but um there was a few of us actually, but it was all right. I mean, my birthday's in January, so it's not that far off everyone else. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But so what did you actually do on your B day?
Not too much. I've been working,
Mm.
so they had like a little thing at work for me, which was cute. And
Oh.
then I went out for dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and that was about it. I mean, it's not really that exciting. I'm not really a birthday person, though, to be
No.
honest.
Yeah, you're not.
Um, I don't really care. And I also I don't know, it's 24, it's not really that exciting. You know what I mean? It's not like it's 21 or 18. It's just another year.
I agree. I also feel like maybe after 21, every birthday is kind of meh.
Yeah. Yeah. Although I don't really understand why in Australia we make a massive deal out of 21 because
Neither do
arguably
I. It makes no sense.
it actually doesn't make any sense because 18 is when you can do everything pretty much.
Yeah.
And when you're legally an adult. There's no difference between when you're 18 and 21, not to my knowledge anyway.
Yeah, but I guess I feel like I don't know. I feel like when you turn 18, I know you're legally an adult, but you don't feel like an adult. And then when I feel like you get to 21, I feel like maybe that's when you really start to feel that you're not a kid or you're not a teenager anymore.
Yeah, I guess. I think it's just an American thing that we've adopted.
Oh, 100%. Although,
Yeah.
like, at the same time, I still feel like a child in my mind.
Oh,
I
I
don't.
was gonna say I still feel like I'm 18 years old.
Oh,
I think
me
I've
too.
frozen in my mind at maybe 19, and I still think I'm 19 years old. And whenever people ask me my name, oh sorry, not my name, fucking hell, my age, I'm like, oh, and I have to think about it. It's weird. I actually have to think about it now.
I do that too. I always go to say 21 and then I go, oh no, I'm not 21, I'm 23.
Yeah, same. I always think 21 or 22, and then I'm like, oh, I'm not that anymore. So yeah, it's just weird. I'm close to being in my mid 20s now, which is kind of gross, but oh well.
But everyone has to age, don't they?
Just part of life.
That is part of life. I was
But
gonna
yeah,
ask you, have you been following do you like the tennis? I feel like you do.
yeah. I
Yeah.
would normally go like I think most years me and my mum go because obviously me and my mum's birthday are 3 days apart from each other.
Yeah,
So
right.
we will always go to the tennis usually for our birthdays. But
Uh,
obviously this year, it's been a schmozzle to say the least.
but I
An
was gonna
absolute
say,
shit show.
yeah, have you been following the drama? So for people who don't know,
Yeah.
these the Australian Open is still going ahead. We don't know why. I don't think it should be, but and all the players are flying in from all over the world, and they have to do 2-week quarantine. And now a bunch of them have coronavirus and it's like spread within like the hotel system. No like community transmission that we're aware of, and they just are complaining about how strict it is and how difficult it is and like how they can't, like I was reading they're only allowed out for a certain number of hours per day to like practice, because they were like, oh, we have to practice, like we can't just not practice for 2 weeks before the Australian Open starts. And I'm just, why? I don't understand why, like, just like shut up.
Yeah. I just think it's not worth it. Like, I don't understand why they went ahead with it. It's clearly really not worth it. They've already brought in all these people positive,
I know.
and now they're all hating their lives. It's like, mate, you knew what you were signing up for. Like, it would have been explained. They would have had to quarantine anyway when they got here, regardless of whether they had coronavirus or not.
Yeah.
So either way, you had to quarantine, and I just don't understand why you'd even agree to do it in the first place. Like, it was never going to end well.
No, but I think the thing is they can't conceptualize like how boring and like how difficult it is to be like in a hotel room with like no open windows. So like I get that it's difficult, but at the same time, like you're all millionaires, you're all like here to play a sport to earn money. It's like there are so many underprivileged people like who don't have anything, and you're going to sit there and complain that you have the privilege to travel overseas when most people don't. Like, it's just so, just like shut up, just go away.
Yeah. I honestly can't believe they just went ahead with it. I thought that was the dumbest decision ever.
Me too.
But there's a lot of players that chose not to come.
Yeah.
So that's good. But I just don't understand why anyone thought it was worth it.
No.
I know it's like Oz Open or Australia Tennis or whatever are paying for all of it, but
yeah,
still.
I just think like, are there going to be like crowds? Like, how are there going to be like people watching? Like, I don't
know, because normally the Australian Open as well would be done over like summer holidays.
Yeah.
So when schools and stuff are off and people are generally on holidays. Whereas now, because it's been pushed back, it's going to be like when most people are at work. So I don't know if they're going to get the same amount of people going.
But like, I guess that's good that there will be less people going. Like, I guess that's what they want.
Oh no, it's definitely better that it's not as many people, but I'm just saying, I thought the whole point of them doing it was to earn money,
Yes.
to get people to go.
Yeah, that is true. Because
that's the only reason I can possibly think of that they went ahead with it, is to boost the economy and get money in.
For sure. Which is just like, I understand that it's a big thing, and obviously like a lot of the economy has suffered because of this, but like I just like, I don't know, I just think it's really dumb.
It is. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Like, it'd be really frustrating if it starts to cause like people in the community to get it.
I know. I'll be pissed.
I just don't think it's worth it. I think it's ridiculous. I think
agree.
we're doing really well, and I don't know why this was necessary.
I know.
Until there's a vaccine, realistically, we shouldn't be doing stuff like this.
I totally agree. But speaking of tennis, have you seen the Margaret Court Dan Andrews drama?
No.
So you know Margaret Court?
Yeah.
So for listeners who don't know, she was this tennis player, like really famous, like she won like the US Open and the French Open and all this stuff. And there's a stadium in Melbourne named after her and like all this stuff. And she is like incredibly homophobic and racist and like transphobic, and said like the worst things, like that trans people are problematic and that like gay people, it's like evil and just like the worst stuff. And um so now for Australia Day, they are giving her like some Australia Day commendation. Like right now, she's in the Order of Australia, and like they're bumping her up to the next level. And Dan Andrews has said that she like doesn't deserve it, and that she shouldn't be like she doesn't deserve more like acknowledgement and more like awards. And so
Ooh.
Tennis Australia said that it's like it's difficult because like she is a great tennis player and like she has done a lot for women in sport and things like that, and they were saying they don't want to be seen as like trying to rewrite history by like giving her, but if they like were to not give her the award, because they want to say that yeah, she is good at tennis. But then they also said, oh, but we want to foster an environment where, you know, everyone feels comfortable and safe. And it's just like, it just makes me think like, do you think that if people in the past have done horrible things, do you think they should still be rewarded for like the positive things that they've done?
Um, I
It's
don't know.
hard.
So has she come out recently and said this stuff, or is this
Oh,
like,
like as recent as like 3 years ago. She did like because she's massively religious, and she said like
oh,
she made a Facebook video or something and was like, "Oh, in the Bible, you know, read the first 2 chapters of Genesis. It says male and female. There's no other genders, like stuff like that."
right? Yeah. I don't know. It's hard because on one hand, I understand she probably was a good tennis player, so they want to,
Hmm.
award her for that. But then it obviously doesn't look very good if she's saying other stuff. You know, I don't. It's hard because I'm all for everyone having their right to have an opinion. Like, and
Hmm.
if you want to be religious, that's your choice. It's just how you go about it. Like, you can't then go online and say, oh, you can't be gay or whatever, because
Yeah.
that's not,
See, I think that like
yeah,
freedom of opinion does not mean that you're free from the consequences of like voicing that opinion.
yeah, yeah.
So
She
it's
should be allowed to have her own opinion, but the only issue I have is when she starts telling other people how to live their lives. That's
yeah,
where
I
I get the
agree.
issue.
And it's just like like I don't know. I don't think I think the other thing is or specifically with her is that she already has all these other awards. She already has a friggin' tennis stadium named after her. So it's like I can understand if people are like, well, she deserves to be acknowledged. I'm like, she has been acknowledged. She doesn't need another acknowledgement. Like, why
Yeah.
now in like after all of these things have come out that she said, why does she need to be
Mm,
praised again after that? Like she's already been praised in the like it's just to feed her ego, I feel.
yeah. I don't know. It's a hard one. I don't, if she's already been like, clearly she's already got a stadium
Yeah.
named after her and stuff like that. I don't know whether she needs another award, especially this long after the fact. It's probably redundant at this stage. Um, yeah, I
No.
find that one hard because how old is she?
She's old.
She's obviously older. Yeah.
But
That's
I
the
don't
other thing
think
as well.
that's an
You've got these
excuse
older,
though.
it's not an excuse, but their generation is obviously very different. And they do think very differently, for sure.
That is true,
Um,
but at the same time, I just feel like if you're gonna like, how do you not have like the self-awareness to know that if you say something so ignorant and so like stupid that like you're gonna get called out for it? Like, I just don't understand when people do these things and they're shocked when they get dragged online for it. I'm like, what do you expect when you are a terrible person?
yeah. It must be though, because she's probably grown up around people and been around people that have never really disagreed or
Mm,
have had anything else to say or anything else to offer. So now that she's a public figure, when she said these things, she's copped backlash and she's gone, oh, wait, what? But she's probably not used to people disagreeing with her.
true. She has a bunch of yes people around her, and she needs some no
Well,
people.
yeah, just people that are like-minded. I'd imagine if she's religious, she's hanging around other religious people
Yeah,
that are in her church or whatever, and they probably would agree with her. Um, so I think that's the issue, is that when you're hanging around all these people that don't have anything else to offer, um, people get in shock. You know what I mean? When someone else gives them a different opinion.
totally.
So,
I agree with that. Um, Another article that I just read today. Um, oh my God, this is so crazy. There's also a photo that comes with it. I'm gonna have to send it to you. Okay. So
mm.
this woman, this woman who lives in Queens in New York City has said that while she was like on her front porch, she was attacked by a group of squirrels
What?
that crawled up her leg and started chewing on her finger. And she said that it refused to let go. And
What?
wait, I'll have to send you the photo. And then yeah, she's quoted as saying, "We were wrestling in the snow and there's blood everywhere, and my fingers are getting chewed and it won't let go." And then um it has other people have said that they've also been attacked by squirrels. Like one of them crawled up a mailbox and jumped onto this woman's leg and bit her.
What the fuck?
And people are like, "Oh, we're really worried about rabies and things like that." And it says that rabies in squirrels is very rare, but it is a thing. Wait, if I
Yeah.
send you this photo, can you look at it now?
Yeah. Hang on. Um, are you sending it on Messenger?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, what the hell is that?
That's
Is
blood.
that all? That's all her blood?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Isn't that like crazy to think? Like when I think of, I mean, we don't have squirrels in Australia, but I think of squirrels as being like cute.
Cute. And the attack of the squirrels. They're finally getting their revenge. I don't understand though. Like, are they, is it like how, who was it? Remember when like it was peak COVID, and I think I read this article where it said in New York all the rats didn't have any food to eat because none of the restaurants or anything like that were like leaving
Oh.
their normally they'd leave trash out
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So apparently like the rats had just taken over the city, but they were all like really hungry. So they were kind of doing the same thing. They were kind of like attacking people or moving out like into the suburbs where there was food because there wasn't, any food in the city anymore, which is
Wow. That's so
fucking
crazy.
weird. Yeah. I was like, so I mean, it could be like that. Maybe the squirrels are hungry. I
Yeah,
don't
that is a good point. But I was thinking, have you ever been attacked by an animal?
um I I used to like walk to school every day pretty
Hmm.
much, and I've definitely been swooped by magpies
Oh,
um
totally.
a bunch of times, which has like traumatized me. There was like one tree I would always walk past that there was a magpie in there. I would literally have to like sprint past it because this magpie was fucking vicious. Um and it's like it knew when I would like walk past every day because
Oh
it would just
God.
come out of nowhere and I was like, what the fuck? But
Yeah, magpies
apparently,
in Australia are crazy. Like
oh,
I
they're
remember
fucking
like
vicious.
a few weeks ago, because I feel like when the swooping season started, I don't really know when the swooping season is. Is it like now? Is it like summer?
No, I'm pretty sure it's spring.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
either way, I feel like this year it like wasn't that bad, but a few weeks ago, I was walking my dog and I was like walking past this house and a magpie swooped me. And like I had my and the worst part for people who have never been swooped by a magpie is the sound. Would you agree with me?
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
it
it's just
sounds
horrific.
like clicking. It's
Mm.
horrible. And yeah, and I just heard this sound and I looked up and I saw it like flying away and I was just like, oh, and it kept doing it. And I was like, oh, what the fuck is that? And then I started like power walking and then I kept walking. And there's this guy sitting on like his front veranda, sitting there laughing, and he was watching the whole thing.
Oh my God.
And I wanted to be like,
It
sir, you
is.
couldn't have helped me.
Although to be fair, it is kind of funny watching someone get swooped by a magpie. Even
Oh.
though it's horrific to go through, but hilarious to
I feel like
watch.
it's like rite of passage as an Australian.
Oh, 100%. You're not Australian if you haven't been swooped by a magpie.
Oh,
That's for
totally.
sure.
Any other animal
I
attacks you've survived?
I really don't. No, I don't think so. I mean, I've had like a few dogs bite me and stuff like that, but
Like bad bites
nothing.
or just like,
I think I had like one that was pretty bad, but nothing. Not yeah. But that was like this is what pisses me off. So like where I usually like walk or whatever,
hmm
there's a bunch of people that like have their dogs and they walk around, which is obviously fine.
yeah.
But a lot of them don't put their dog on a lead.
Oh, no.
And so first of all, there's kangaroos everywhere. So
Yeah,
it
right.
scares the kangaroos, which like pisses me off to begin with.
hmm
Because then the kangaroos just start jumping out on the road and stuff. And
Yeah.
then secondly, their dog will just go missing because I've seen it so many times. This is like at the gorge.
hmm Yeah.
And there's all these like missing dog posters because people's dogs will just run off and then they'll never like they don't find them. I literally
Wow.
saw it on New Year's. Me and my mum were walking. We saw these people with their dog and it wasn't on the lead. And then later on we saw them and the dog wasn't there anymore. And they're both like frantically like looking around
Oh
in
my
the bushlands
God.
for their dog. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I don't know, it just frustrates me. But yeah, I've had it before where people's dog wasn't on the lead and their dog's like fucking jumped off on me. And I usually like I love animals, but this dog like fucking bit me on the hand. So
Wow. Yeah, I people who don't have their dogs on leads are just like I can't deal with it. I hate it. Like I understand if your dog is well trained and like you have it off lead and it will only be like right next to you, that's fine. But it's like if I'm taking my dog for a walk through the park and you have your dog off lead and it immediately runs up to my dog, like no, just don't.
yeah. Do you remember that scandal? Was it last year or whatever, where that lady, other dog like bit this other lady's dog? Do you remember that? And then the
Uh
dog died. It like attacked. She was like walking in a park, and I think she had like a pit bull or something, and it like went up to this other lady's dog and it like bit it, and it fucking like basically ate this other dog.
oh God.
Um, I remember it was like this massive fucking scandal on Facebook. But yeah, basically, people I don't understand. You should always have your dog on a lead unless it's at a park or something where, like a
Yeah.
dog park, where you're allowed to have it off its lead. Or like you said, it's really well trained. But you just never know with other animals, you know.
I
Like
know.
your dog may be good, but another dog may not be.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's what I'm always worried about. And then it's like, they're always like, oh, they're so friendly. And I'm like, yeah, but you know, even human beings are friendly until like they aren't. So
yeah, yeah, no, it's true. At
it's
the
like
end of the day, it's
expecting
a
all human beings to like get along. Like it's not reality.
yeah, but at the end of the day, it is an animal, and you can train. And some breeds are just more aggressive than others
Yeah.
naturally, like regardless of how well you've trained it. So yeah, I don't know. What about you? Have you been attacked by an animal?
Um, uh, not that I can really think of. I've been stung by a bee. Have you been stung by a bee?
Oh, I've been stung by a wasp,
Oh, I
when I
feel
was
like
on the
that's
Gold
worse.
Coast. Yeah, I think it like stuck because like wasps can sting you more than once. So, or
Oh.
is that bees?
No,
Oh no, I think
bees
that's
die.
wasps.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Wasp.
bees does. Yeah. I it was so random. I was like out at this Indian restaurant on the Gold Coast, and I like all of a sudden I just feel like this massive sting on my hand, and then it actually it was all right, but it did hurt, and I'm pretty sure it stung me more than once. Because
Oh,
wasps are just fucking cheeky. Because especially if you have you seen like those European ones? They're fucking
yes.
massive.
Yeah.
Oh, they're actually terrifying. And they are so aggressive. They will like sting you like 10 times in a row. They don't give a fuck. It's
I
just,
hate that. Yeah, see, I feel like bees aren't like that, obviously, because they can only sting you once. But I feel like even when they sting you, it's not like they are like psycho like wasps. Like I got stung on the foot by a bee and it really hurt, but
yeah.
at the same time I was like, oh, the bee is gonna die. Like it was sad.
Yeah. I wonder how they like, I wonder if well, they probably don't know they're gonna die. I don't know. I was
Oh my
reading
God. I,
somewhere,
I always think about how animals think.
yeah, because I was reading somewhere like, baby snakes,
Yeah.
that they're more likely to bite you because they're just not as well
Yes.
trained or
Yeah.
whatever. Um, but adult snakes won't like use their venom. Like they may like bite you, but they may not actually
Yeah.
put their because they're more trained or whatever. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Like, I wonder if like bees know, oh, I'm gonna sting this guy and this is how I'm gonna go out. Like this is like a suicide mission.
Oh my, I
That's
feel like they don't. Well, I feel like they
they
don't know
clearly
they're gonna die. I feel like
they clearly
they decide to sting, but
yeah. They clearly don't know because it's
no.
like, why would they just sting your foot and then die? It's
Yeah,
just
I
like,
think it's just like yeah, it's like innate behavior. But wait, speaking of snakes, did you see that video of I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here?
uh, is that the one where they put them in a tank with the
Don't
snakes, or is that something different?
the one where she got bit by the baby snake multiple times.
Oh no, what the fuck?
Oh my God. So on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here, um, yeah, she had like a tank. Can't remember who it was, but she had a tank on her
Yeah.
head and it had baby snakes in it and she was like doing a task with her hands or whatever and the snake bit her like once on the face, like I think like on her nose or something, and everyone was just like, oh, it's okay, keep going. And she, like the girl, I think she must have been in shock because she was so like chill and calm. She was like, it's okay, I'm gonna keep going, I'm gonna keep going. And everyone was like, what? And it bit her like 4 times on the face.
Oh wow,
And like
that's
afterwards,
fucked.
when they took her out, she like started crying and she was bleeding a lot. And I was like, why did they let her keep going?
Hmm. I don't know. That's why I could never do that show. It's actually fucked what they have to
Oh
do.
God, no.
They don't even really get paid that much. Like it depends on, I guess, how big
It's
of a
always
celebrity
like
you are.
weird D-list celebrities. Petty
Oh,
Fleur's on there.
oh my god, Patty Fleur. What happened to Melbourne Housewives? Is that
um,
like done now?
no, no. Well, I think like they announced that the new season was meant to start filming, I think like right before lockdown started.
Oh,
So and now I read that it's meant to start filming sometime this month.
Mm, okay. Yeah, but I've heard like that they got rid of this Sydney show because that didn't rate really well at all. And so now they're just doing the Melbourne one.
Yes, I saw that
Um,
too.
yeah. Yeah. I don't really remember who was on the Sydney one. I just remember there was a lot more drama.
I love the Sydney one. It was psycho. They like throwing drinks and throwing scarves off of boats and
Yeah, I didn't really get it. I remember on the radio they were like, oh, what they say? They're like, oh, yeah, we're gonna get rid of the Sydney one because there's a lot of drama. And I was like, isn't that what people want?
see, this
It's
is the
a
problem with
drama.
those reality shows is that it's like it's either all drama, which I love, or it's like no drama, which some other people love when there's no drama. It's like it's very rare to get a show where it's like the right amount of drama for like the public. But I want drama all the time.
I think the drama is what makes it. It depends on what the drama is, though. Like if it's always, I don't know. It just depends.
If it's
I think
authentic, then it's good.
I think a lot of reality TV though has had its time. Like I
Oh,
just am not really that interested in watching reality TV for the most part.
see, I still like reality TV, but like the Kardashians, like just buy.
I mean, I did find that show interesting, but the
Did
last few
you?
seasons, no, when it was like in its prime, it was funny. Now
Yeah,
it's like shit. It's
yeah.
absolutely so boring now. I mean, to be honest, I've never really watched like every single episode,
Oh, me
but
neither. I've seen random.
like the most recent ones, I'd watch like a random episode here and there, and it was just so boring. I just couldn't do it. Like nothing really is happening, and they would like make up drama where it wasn't even really a drama. Like there was one episode where they had an argument because Kendall wanted to lift home with Kylie or something.
Is that the
And they
same one
had
where they
like
had
it
the
just
argument about the outfit they were going to wear to dinner?
yes,
Ah, yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It was just so lame. I was like, this is not even anything.
Yeah, but like, so
But
they're done on E, but now they're going to Hulu or whatever. And I'm just like, why? Like, what other content is there to be gained? Like, I don't get it.
well, that's why they reckon that Chris Jenner orchestrated this whole Kanye West and Jeffree Star thing.
Oh my God.
So then that way they could use it as like a teaser for their new seasons on Hulu.
Right. But with
Um,
that, do you feel like Kanye like has no idea that Chris is like that manipulative?
I honestly feel like that Kanye has no fucking clue about a lot of things. I think he's literally in
I
his
agree.
own little world.
I agree.
I feel like Kanye is like in his own little bubble, and I don't think he has a very good grasp on reality, to be honest. That's just how I read him. I don't know. Obviously, he's got a lot of mental health issues,
Yeah.
so it makes sense that he doesn't really know what's going on. But
Yeah.
I actually was pretty shocked though when they announced it. Well, they haven't really announced it, have they? But
No.
it's basically it's basically confirmed. Because if
What?
it wasn't true,
No, it's
well, if
not.
it
What are you
wasn't,
talking about?
well, Kanye and Kim getting divorced.
Oh, I thought you were talking about Jeffrey.
Oh no, 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 no,
I
no,
was
no,
gonna
no,
say they confirmed that. What?
no, no. Jeffrey like came out and said that it was
Yeah.
definitely not true.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Although I cannot stand Jeffree Star. I
Me
just
neither.
literally, oh my God, I fucking hate him. I
Trash.
find him so irritating, especially now that you would have seen all the stuff with Trisha.
Yes. I mean, I feel like we're talking about Trisha Paytas, by the way. I just feel like
Yeah.
with her, like like for a long time I loved her and I thought she was really funny, and then like not too long ago I was like, I'm over her. Like she's just like the biggest troll and it's all just fake. And then when I started watching Frenemies, the podcast that she's on, like
Yeah.
I started to like get her a little bit more and like understand that
Yeah.
she's been through a lot of like shit. So I understand. So I just think that like what Jeffrey and that
Yeah.
other dude have done to her is horrible.
See, I was of the same opinion, I guess, because she's very, I don't know. It's hard to explain with Trisha. One day you love her and the next day she says something dumb and you're like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Oh
She's
yeah.
just so polarizing. However, her like Frenemies podcast with Ethan is really good. I
It
do
is.
enjoy that.
It is.
Um, and now that she's engaged and um she just seems to be a lot more settled
Well,
um
sometimes.
sometimes, but at least she's finally realizing though that Shane and all that
Oh,
are probably not the best for her.
I know. I was gonna say, like, I'm glad she knows now that Shane is just trash.
The thing is that makes me sad though is I used to love her, Shane and Drew
Oh, me
and
too.
that crew, and all their videos they had together were actually like
I
really good.
know.
But I think ever since he's met Ryland,
Oh, for sure.
Ryland is definitely like all about the dollar signs.
Oh,
Um,
totally. Like his podcast that he has, I tried to listen to it and I was like, I just can't listen to him talk. Like all he cares about is Gucci and brands and ugh.
yeah, I remember I would watch like Shane's vlog
Yeah.
and Rylan would be in it, and all they'd ever talk about would be like stuff like that, or they'd go out shopping, and Rylan would be really concerned about buying brand stuff and buying a fancy car. And I was like, this isn't really Shane. Like, I can't. Old Shane would never really care about that.
Yes. But also like I just feel it's just so like fake. Like it's fake. Like, oh my God, I can't like we can't buy this. I'm like, you are like multi-millionaires. Like, just don't.
Yeah, but I wonder how long that will last for because surely he's not really making any money at the moment.
Yeah, I
Um,
I always think about this, like, what do YouTubers and like influencers do when they have a scandal and they just like leave the internet? I'm like, how do they? I guess
uh,
they still. Well, actually, no, because I know with Shane that I think like his channel or most of his videos have been demonetized, so he can't earn
yeah.
money from that. But like, there must be some other way that he earns money.
I honestly believe, like, first of all, he's an idiot because Trisha was probably the one person that he should have kept on side.
Oh
Because let's
yeah,
be real, like Trisha, especially on her Frenemies podcast now with Ethan, whoever they decide they don't like or whatever, it's like automatically like they're cancelled now.
yeah,
Pretty much. Like even James Charles copped it
yes.
a few times. And then now, like, obviously, he didn't defend her at all with the Jeffrey thing, and that Hair by Jay guy was so fucking disgusting.
Oh
Like,
my
that
God, I
live was
hate him.
so bad. He is so I can't believe who the fuck even talks like that. I don't even like what?
I know, and I just don't understand like how Jeffrey was like on Twitter being like, well, you know, like Trisha like didn't call me or whatever. And I'm like, why does she have to personally contact you for you to realize that this person who works for you is vile? Like, why that like do you not have common sense?
Clearly, though, he's Jeffrey's puppet.
Oh yeah,
Um,
100%.
and Jeffrey cannot even try and defend himself because
No.
it's so obvious. And they're just real life mean girls. That's all it is. Um, I hate those people though. Like you just know the type. Like they'd just be so nice to your face and
Oh
be
yeah.
so lovely, and then behind your back talk absolute shit. And
That is
it sounds like from what Trisha was saying, they were even like saying it to her face though as well, which is even worse.
Yeah, how
Um,
horrible.
yeah, she was saying on the podcast that she was talking about like suicide or whatever. You know how she
Yes.
obviously has a lot of issues. Um, and then they were like to her, well, Jeffrey apparently was like to her, oh, well, there's a balcony there. Why don't you just do it now? Which is like,
What?
yeah. She was saying it on like the latest
Is that
podcast
the one
because
where she's wearing the red
obviously,
wig?
um, yeah, I think
I
so.
have to. Okay,
She
I'm gonna
also,
watch that.
yeah, she also spoke to because Ethan and Ela have their own podcast.
Yeah.
So she was speaking to them on that one as well. But I'm pretty sure, yeah, on the latest one, she was saying that when she was on the trip, he like would make all these comments and apparently she had this jumper or something and he was like, oh, we just threw it away and when they went into one of these designer stores, um she asked the price or something and they were like, oh, why do you have to ask the price? You're
Oh
so
my
poor.
God, what the hell? That doesn't surprise me
Yeah.
at all that they're like that.
But what I don't get is though, Jeffrey always talks about how he came from like nothing, how he grew to be this massive thing, and how he's worked really hard to get his money. So how do you not understand then when other people, are concerned with money? I don't get it.
I agree. It
And
makes no
Trisha
sense.
and Trisha by no means is poor.
Yeah.
She's definitely not poor. She's definitely wealthy.
Hmm.
Um, so I don't know. I just don't. I want nothing to do with Jeffrey. I
Yeah.
unfollowed him ages ago anyway. But
Yeah. Me too. How do you feel about all these TikTokers becoming famous? Quote unquote famous.
um, I do love TikTok, but
But I feel like you don't
I don't,
like that side of TikTok. Like,
no, I don't understand like Charlie and
yeah, that's what
all
I'm
the
talking
main
about.
ones. Yeah. Oh no, I don't watch any of them,
Yeah, I
and
didn't
I
think
don't
so.
understand how they're famous. I don't understand how they're famous, to be honest.
I
But
just don't. Yeah, it's just like the most basic white people with no personalities who do a dance and they like children, and all of these 9-year-old followers are obsessed with them.
yeah, it's pretty much just because all these people are good looking
Yeah.
and they just portray this lifestyle and everyone's following them. I mean, TikTok is honestly a black hole though. Like I could be on TikTok for hours and not even realize it. Like
Yeah.
it's so bad. I'm actually addicted to it. Like even at work, I'll just be like watching it sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing?
I love that.
It's just
It's a way to like kill time. I'm like that with like Facebook videos. Like if I watch any random video, I just keep scrolling and then I get to like the bottom where they have no more and I'm like, "Oh my God, what am I doing?"
but are you on TikTok or not really?
No, I'm not.
Oh. See, it's probably for the best though. But the thing is, no, because it's actually just such a waste of time, to
Yeah.
be honest. But that's the thing about like Facebook videos. You're like, oh, you run out of videos. With TikTok, you never run out of videos. Like it just keeps going.
Oh, yeah, that I can't get into that. I would like, yeah, be so
And I
unproductive.
think it just feeds like our like a mental like younger generation or whatever because they're not long videos. You
Yeah,
know
right.
how normally you just short attention spam, you're like, oh, I'm over this.
Hmm.
TikTok, you just like it's just like 30-second whatever videos. It's just so easy to watch, you know. Um,
True. Very Vine-ish.
it pretty much is Vine. I mean, I never really used Vine when Vine was a thing. So,
Mm.
but from what I gather, it is basically Vine. Um, yeah.
But I feel
There
like
are some
Vine,
like
Vine at least like you had to try to be funny, and like I
yeah.
feel like TikTok is less effort.
The thing is though, my like for you page is mainly about it's not any dancing stuff. I fucking hate
Good.
that. It's
I'm
all like
glad.
about like I follow a lot of investment things and people talk about like good ways to put your money places or even like cooking food, like good
Oh.
food hacks, life hacks. It's got like a bunch of other stuff on there that yeah. I think people when they think of TikTok, they generally think of just girls dancing, but
Yes. I think
that's
more
not really what I follow.
like fuck boys, just all of those idiots.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Because it's who's that guy? Bryce Hall that everyone talks
Oh
about.
God.
Him and Addison Rae are apparently dating.
I can't
It's
deal.
just
I can't deal with them.
no, they make me cringe to be honest. But yeah, I'm not a fan of any of the main ones. I
Good.
just follow funny people and
Good, as you should. Speaking of
mm,
investing, I was gonna say I am very into investing now. I've
oh
been doing
good.
a lot of research, being old comsec,
Mm,
but it's just
yep.
very like I understand how people get like addicted to like buying and like selling shares. Like I get how it's a
Oh,
thing.
for sure. It is really overwhelming though if you've
Yeah,
never done it before because this is just stuff you don't learn at school.
I
And
know.
so it's kind of frustrating. Like even at work I was telling people about it and even simple things like for example, like I had my savings and stuff like that
Hmm.
with Commonwealth and I've recently like moved it all now to another bank because of how bad Commonwealth's interest rates are. Like they're just horrendous.
Yeah.
Um, when you actually realize that you can go to another bank and get like, 2% interest rates or whatever, which like I remember when I remember I was getting like fucking $1
Mm.
interest rates at Commonwealth and then I moved my money and I was getting like the first month I got like $28 or something ridiculous.
Whoa.
And I was like, what the fuck?
We can have an
So
offline convo about what bank that is, but yes, continue.
yeah. No, but people should, and like a lot of people are with, like the main banks who
Yeah.
don't offer good interest rates. And so even little stuff like that, you just don't learn this stuff at school. And
No.
unfortunately, a lot of people don't know any better. But same with shares and investing, like people don't, it's a really overwhelming, but once you get, a hold of it, it's not that bad.
Yeah. I
Um,
just think that people also, if you don't have, if you're like living paycheck to paycheck, obviously like you aren't going to have money to like invest in shares. So I just think if a lot of people, if you don't have a lot of money, then it is very, you just kind of like, well,
yeah,
why? But then when you do have some money and then
yeah,
I'm looking at it, trying to figure it out. It's interesting, but it's also like, you have to like pay attention. You have to like invest a lot of your time and energy into it as well.
oh, for sure. And that's why a lot of people will obviously pay someone else to do it.
Yeah.
They'll get a financial broker, financial advisor, sorry, and
Yeah.
they will put their money into shares for them and build a portfolio. But in saying that, you don't need to do that. And there's like other options. Like I think I showed you like Comseg Pocket, where
Yes.
you kind of just pick which one you want and they invest it into, you know, a group like that. You don't have to pick where your money goes, basically.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is good. Even like Raise, like I know a lot of people
Yeah.
use Raise because that just does roundups and it invests money slowly for you. Um, so there are like options for people that don't have a lot of money to invest
Mm.
because it is one of those things where I think that it's underrated because of the fact that you've got to think about it long term. Like if you
Yes.
start investing money now, by the time you're like 60 or close to retirement, you've got this. Not only do you have your super, you've
Mhm.
also got the shares and stuff and money that you've invested in that you can use for your retirement.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, people can't just live off their super anymore.
No,
That's what
they can't.
that's the issue. And the cost of living is ridiculous now that you've got to start thinking about the future. You can't just, yeah. But I mean, it is overwhelming.
It is. I no, but I agree. It's because like I only had Rays, and then when you brought up to me about like ComSec and stuff like that, then I started really looking into it. So thanks for that. I have you to thank you. I have to
It's all
thank
right.
you.
It's all right. I should say it's not really like a lot of this stuff. I mean, I have like read books and stuff in the past, but obviously, as you know, I'm not going to say a name, but my best friend is a financial advisor. So
Yes.
that's why I know all about this, because she just lets me know about this. So
Right.
technically it's her advice. But yeah, it's also one of those things though where people, I've noticed, kind of want to hold on to their savings, and
Oh, yeah,
I don't
for
know,
sure.
it's that internal thing where even I'm like myself, because I obviously want to buy a house
Yeah.
or property, or even use it for like traveling or something. And you're like, oh, I don't really want to invest it in anything else, because you don't see the rewards of investing in shares until like freaking 10, 20 years later,
Yes.
even more than that. So
That is
that's the
very
issue with
true.
shares. Yeah. It doesn't give you instant gratification. So that's why
Mm,
I don't think a lot of people are very interested in it.
yeah. But I think
Um,
everyone should do their own research because it's interesting.
oh, 100%. And it depends on what you're investing in. Like, you can lose money, obviously. If
Yeah,
you're
see,
investing in something that's
yes.
risky.
That's the other thing I was going to say is that I feel like in the beginning, you should only invest what you're okay with losing.
Oh, 100%. If you can't afford to lose the money that you're investing, do not invest it.
Yeah, totally.
However, however, depends on what you're investing in.
Hmm.
Now, when they had that massive market crash in like 2008, people panicked and like sold all their shares and stuff like that
Yeah.
for way less than obviously what they put in.
Hmm.
So they lost a lot of money. The thing is with shares, for the most part, especially if you're investing in like solid ones, like, like investing in Commonwealth Bank, or
Yeah.
ones that like aren't really going to lose money.
Hmm.
Um, you've just got to ride out the wave. That's the thing with shares. Unless you're going to retire in 5 years, I wouldn't worry about it. You know what I mean?
For
If
sure.
it goes down a bit, don't stress about it. Just ride it out. That's the thing, and it'll eventually go back up. I mean, look at 2008 to like now,
Oh,
how
for
much it's gone
sure.
back up again, and how much everything's gone back up again. Property prices, everything's skyrocketed. So, and I honestly think that once all our JobKeeper and all this other stuff starts to dwindle off, that we're probably at risk of having a similar thing happen again.
Yeah.
Because I know people that work at banks and stuff like that, and they've said like people are only just paying the interest on their mortgage, or they're barely just getting by. And so
Oh.
once the money starts to dry up, I can see it happening again, where we have a recession.
Yeah, I could see
Um,
that too.
yeah, because I don't think people realize that the effects of all this aren't going to be felt until like years later. It's not going to be now. It'll
Yeah.
be once all the benefits stop, once all these businesses, because a lot of businesses are just like barely getting by at the moment.
Yeah.
Um, and they're relying on, all these benefits and stuff like that to get them by. So I don't know.
That is
I
true.
hopefully we don't. It's not as bad, but in a way, I think it's almost necessary for things to become reasonably priced again. Do you know what I mean? Like
Oh,
we almost
yeah,
need we
for
almost
sure.
need a market crash, because property at the moment is so expensive.
I know. I do
Um,
feel like we need like a reset to like,
we honestly kind of do, because it's ridiculous how expensive it is. Do
yeah.
you see, like, even in the city, so people that have own apartments and stuff in the city, they're struggling to get anyone to rent it out. because there's
Oh
like
God.
no. So they were saying that rent and stuff in the city is super cheap. Like
Oh,
if you want to move into the city at the moment, it's probably a good time to, because you could probably get in like a good deal. Because if you think about it, what most people are now migrating from the city to the suburbs because they're
true.
like, well, working from home, we don't really need to be in the city anymore.
Yeah,
There's not
that's a
that
good
much
point.
happening in this. There's not that much happening in the city at the moment.
No.
I mean, it's kind of getting back up and running again, but I think most people would prefer to have space and,
For
a
sure.
backyard and yeah. So they were saying like in the suburbs the prices are going up, but in the city they're going down.
Mm,
Mm.
interesting. Well, thank you for leaving us with those words of wisdom. Erin, you're so knowledgeable on all topics.
Not really. I love how I just started talking shit at the end about. I should clarify that I'm not a financial advisor
I think
at all.
I think we've got that.
Yeah. I'm not qualified in any way.
Oh my God.
So
But
yeah.
anyway, listeners, you can follow me on Instagram at Charlie Wright, but Charlie has two R's in it. And you can follow this show on Instagram at Always Right Podcast. Erin, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course, anytime you want to come on.
Sweet. Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Until
All
next
right.
time. Bye.
Bye.